Hi guys, welcome to Throwzone.com. I'm Mohit Soni, and this in right in front of you is the highly updated TVS Apache RR310. Yes, it received a basics update earlier which we missed to review for you, but now with the substantial changes on board, let's look at what TVS has to offer. We are hearing a lot of changes that TVS is telling us they've done to the bike, and it does make it quite impressive to give it a look and to consider this bike in this segment. As always, let's begin with the design. What you see in front of you is a very nice gloss black color. We've also got these lovely matte gray schemes. As always, the front end is very good, very sport bike looking. It's got its own unique distinct identity, and it's got this shark eyes at the front. The mounting for the windshield has changed, and the overall look of the bike has changed dramatically with the way the fairing has been painted in gloss black along with the tag that is in grey. The tailpiece is also in in gloss black. The exhaust remains the same, the alloy wheels remain the same, the rear also continues to be the same. It's got these same LED lights which are fantastic. They illuminate really well. Let me try and show it to you. Yeah, so as you can see, it's got that unique identity. You can identify this bike from anywhere. You've got LED indicators now, and overall fit finish quality is really up to the mark. Switch gear has changed surprisingly. You get a lot of controls here. Hazard light switch, a very super bike inspired pass light along with high beam. That's how you put it, high beam, and this is how you do the pass light. That is the startup button, and of course this is the party piece, the huge mobile phone inspired touchscreen, and it can be controlled via from here, and you can set a numerous options. These are the 4 widgets what TVS likes to call. You can have them in your own way. You can have a coolant temperature here, you can have another trip meter here. What we have set here is a trip, average mileage, fuel range and odometer, and that is the urban mode. You can go into, once you press set, you can go into ride mode, and then go inside like this. You have range, sport, track, which we'll explain it in a bit. You've got trip details. You have 3 trip meters. Even cars don't have 3 trip meters. My vehicle, service record along with service details. This is the mileage, speed, and of course laps and lap timer. Preference, like I said, display setup, in custom widgets. As you can see, you've got 4 widgets, and like I told you, that's how you set it, and it's still showing that on the top while we go through the settings. So pretty extremely loaded instrument cluster. It changes its look along with the riding mode that it's in. You go into rain, let's go back. It looks like this, and ride mode again, sport, it looks like this, and go into ride mode and then go into track, come back and see it's also changed again. So a very highly really well done instrument cluster. This is the party piece of this motorcycle update for the year 2021. This button also changed, like I told you. Clip-ons are now silver color, and the ergonomics, well, they are truly super sport. So you get a very nice comfortable riding position where you sit in really well. Hug the tank, very good, and you've got bars that are not extremely sporty but low enough, so that gives you a very super sport look and feel. So that makes riding in the city, on the highway, and doing track days also is fun, because you can crouch as you have a good amount of space at the back here. Of course, the pillion seat is just for city duties, and it gives you this whole super sports are always been about being complete all-rounders in the way they offer comfort and sportiness when it comes to ergonomics, and this is probably India's first super sport that does it really well. And yeah, that's the bike. And what's it like to ride? Well, it's the same engine, 34 PS, and liquid cooled. It gets a new fuel injection system to meet BS6 requirement. Ride by wire is here. The engine still not the smoothest. Well, vibrations have gone down by a considerable margin, but still not enough. The 6-speed gearbox, well, it behaves better than before, but still not the best. The gravelly nature of the engine and slightly clunky gearbox, sometimes the gearbox does not respond to your inputs, and it sometimes is a bit hard and clunky. But apart from that, it's got good amount of low end, but the highlight is the mid range, of course, and top end also again is not that great. So it makes it a good bike to live with, to cruise at 110 kilometers an hour, but beyond that it's not really that impressive. Lighter riders or heavier riders, you've tested with both of them, and both say ki, the top end is not that great. But nevertheless, we don't use the top end all the time. Until it's on your racetrack, obviously you will have the capability to push it. It will do 125, 130, 140 kilometers an hour, and but it still won't be segment best, is what we're trying to say. The bigger change, of course, are these lovely new Michelin Road 5 tires. The immediate feel that I got from these tires, they are definitely lighter than the Michelins that were on offer earlier. I've used those Michelins as well, so that's the reason why I was able to come up with that analysis rather quickly. These tires feel very grippy, very light, and the change of direction has become so confident and so quick that it has changed the motorcycle entirely. I am surprised in the way how the engine and gearbox has changed by a good, let's say, 50-60%, which is basically the NVH levels have come down, but the chassis, which was already really good, has now become really the best there is. It now all comes on par when it comes to it comes on par with the KTM RC390. Of course, there's no comparison because the horsepower deficit is quite high, almost 10 PS, and you also have the displacement and the whole idea of how both these single cylinder engines have been put together. But like I said, summing it up, well, the engine and gearbox have been improved, the NVH levels have come down, the chassis become better thanks to the tires. They've made a world of a difference. Ride quality is also quite good. Brakes are quite impressive. I would still prefer a more sharper bite, but then again, this is a super sport, not a racetrack hardcore bike. It can do that, but mostly we are going to use it on the road for touring and everyday commuting, so the brakes are fine to me. They are backed by ABS, and with the prices now even higher than the BMW G3 10R, you do get a lot of more kit than that motorcycle. This becomes the premium of the lot because it offers more kit. You're getting xenon LED projector headlamps, a fairing, a very, very highly loaded instrument cluster that we've never seen before, and a very good looking bike. And that's what makes the RR310 a bike that you should look forward to in this segment. It has the right amount of power and torque to commute, tour, and go on the track. And like I said in my first ever review from the track, that this is finally the R15 upgrade that we've been looking to, and it's not that hardcore, so that makes it quite an approachable motorcycle, because it is of course easier to live with. And that's the reason why the RR310 is still high on our considering chart, and you should also look into it if you are in the area with a budget of 2.5 or 3 lakhs ish. I think that is it. Thank you so much for watching our video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and still have some comments, leave them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.